started touring over here 7 years ago when I won the Frank Ifield International Spirit Award.
Oh, I remember Frank very well. In fact,
yeah, he remembers you too. Sorry.
I remember he used to live in Hertfordshire, and actually he used to run. If I remember correctly, he used to run a fancy dress shop.
Wow, I'll have to ask him about that one.
Ask him when you see him. He used to live in a place called Harpenden, which is not far from where you're going to be performing. It's about half an hour's drive. And he used to run a fancy dress shop with his wife many years ago. This is when I remember you and all the big hits. I remember him, very well. I'm of that age group where I can remember him.
That's okay. That's great. No, look, I'll have to ask him, quiz him about that. He's coming over here in August, September. So
is he?
You can keep an eye out on his website. I know that much. But yeah, that sounds very interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Yeah, so you're going to have to ask him about it. So this Frank Ifield Award, what does it actually entail?
Basically, you don't even know that you're up for it, really. He kind of scouts around. Frank does a lot behind the scenes in the music industry in Australia and really helps to promote new and up-and-coming talent or, anything, a new album that he might like. So all of a sudden, I'd won the award, and he said to me, this also gives you the opportunity to go and perform in the UK. So I said, sure, let's go and do that. So, and I've been back every year ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you probably, depending on how it goes at the day after, on Thursday of this next week, you may not want to be talking to too much of us because we've got the Ashes starting, haven't we?
Yeah, let's not worry about that. Let's not talk about the cricket.
Oh, right, we won't talk about the cricket. I mean, so when did you actually get into, you said you've been touring over here for a few years. How did you get into the singing side of things?
Look, I just think I grew up with it.
Really?
My mum was a keyboard player, my dad was a drummer, my mum sang, my auntie sang, and it was just one of those things that we all did. Okay. I never really thought about it as something you'd get into, so I was just really lucky, really.
So you remember your first professional gig, your first day on stage, and thinking, oh my God?
Yeah, there's a couple of firsts for me. I actually I sang in choirs and in musicals at school and things like that. And then while I was still at school, I started as a backing vocalist for professional work around Western Australia. Mm-hmm. And then I actually joined a rock band, and that was my first kind of stand out the front, sing my solo song. That was fairly scary. And I think you continue to have firsts, though. I mean, especially this show, the Ladies Rock show that I'm touring with, is a first for me in that, it's in theatres, it's a theatre show, and I'm basically out front performing all these songs. I have a fabulous band with me and backing singers. But, even the other night, the first show here in the UK was another first. I think you continue to do that as a performer, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's really... I mean, it's lovely that... I mean, I must admit, I've never been to Australia. I've been to that other island next door. The two little islands next door. I've been there.
Right. We have a few islands off the coast.
No, the New Zealand I'm talking about. And I've been there, and it was. I really enjoyed that part of the world. I am looking forward to one day making it all the way to Australia. So
I hope you do. It's a lovely place, and. We are the lucky country in Australia still. We have some beautiful scenery and beaches, but like people tell me, though, that we do have spiders and snakes. Sorry.
Wow, yeah, I know. We have spiders over here, but they're not going to do any damage, just not very pleasant. One thing I need to ask about, I read this in a little bit I was sent about you being a gay icon.
I don't know where that came from, but okay.
I was told you're an icon to many gay women in Australia. You've got a statuesque physique, good looks. Well, I guess you didn't write that bit, and you're 6'2" in your stage boot and 6 foot in your flats.
That's true. Look, I have a lot of amazing, yes, and I do have gay fans in Australia who come to my shows, and they're absolutely fabulous, great supporters, and an icon. Well, I don't know. I didn't write that. So.
I know. It's funny because I saw talking about Australia now. I saw Oh, the thing about the three drag queens, like Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, a couple of years ago, and I laughed. I thought it was an amazing show, and you know how it all fits in. Is the gay scene in Australia very vibrant, or?
Absolutely, it is. Yeah, like especially in the major cities, for sure. And you know, we have Mardi Gras, we have all sorts of different festivals. We have some excellent entertainment in Sydney as well that they run and put on. So yeah, for sure.
But I mean, we won't go into any more of that. But you're a mother of two. Have you got the children with you at the moment?
No, I don't, because they're in really important years at home.
Oh,
and they need to, like, as much as they're going, oh, Mum, you know, I'd like to be with you. They really do need to be in study mode at the moment. So unfortunately, they couldn't come on their own.
Yeah. And the other thing, you've got this performance school you've recently opened, or 2 years?
Look, I crazily decided to do this. I had a music school many years ago in Perth in Western Australia with my mum, and then I moved to Sydney to further my own career, my writing and recording and touring. So I don't know, it was just something that, because I've always still, even though I've been, you know, touring, recording and doing other things, I still have had students, or I've run vocal workshops, or, you know, always been still involved in the teaching side of things. But I ended up meeting another vocal coach who had very similar ideas, teachers with the same techniques as I do, and we both have a passion to help people get on stage and overcome anxiety and overcome, you know, all those things that are involved. It's not easy to get up on stage and sing.
I know. I don't sing. I do a bit of sort of presenting and things like this, comparing of shows, and it is very daunting when you look out and you suddenly see 2,000 people in front of you. You think the mouth suddenly goes very dry, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, so that was part of our, you know, we share the same passion, so we thought, look, let's do this. Let's put this together. The school has grown really, really well. We're so excited about the school, and even as I'm on tour here, we're expanding into a lot more exciting, being able to offer a lot more exciting courses and stuff at the school. So there's a lot going on, which is great.
It's absolutely fabulous. It's lovely that somebody like yourself I would say, putting something back into the business.
Yeah, I think it's just part of what we should do. I think you know, you learn all that you learn along the way, and being able to pass it on really is a joy. And watching the students grow from it too is just you know, that's what we love. That's why we love it.
I think it's a great thing. I wish I could teach and that sort of thing, but I'm not really a teacher, and I'm certainly not a singer. Don't do much acting either, which is probably a good thing for most people around here, that they don't ever get to see me act and sing. Singing is not my thing. I do appreciate singing, and I do a lot of talent show judging in the UK, across the area, and I know what's good and I know what's bad, but I can't do it myself, which is a fright to me.
Which is great, because you know, if we could all do it, then it wouldn't be.
I'd be after your job, wouldn't I? That's true, eh? So tell us a little about the it's called Ladies Rock. Tell us a little bit about the show.
Sure. Look, the show developed from, I recorded an album a few years ago called Woman of Substance, and all of the songs on that album are songs from the 60s and 70s that either I've been singing all my life, or I still love to sing, or I've had fans request and say, can you sing this song? So I put the album together, and then the show sort of developed from that, and it's gone on from that, because they're realising the celebration of such great music over the years by women. So it's from 1959 until the 2000s, and we sort of go through the show, going through the different stages of sounds of music and stories, and yeah, it's great. It's a great journey. So that's where the shows come from. And
you sing songs from people like Helen Shapiro, The Seekers.
Yeah, Helen Shapiro, even through to Pat Benatar.
Really?
You know, there's loads and loads. We try and cover as many as we can in the show.
Yeah, The Seekers, the New Seekers, Dusty Springfield, and I've got a song that actually we're going to play in a little while called it was made famous by the lovely Tina Turner.
Yeah, and Tina Turner does feature in the show. You know, quite, well, I won't say heavily, but you know, it is. She's at least in there twice. She had such a big influence on women and women's music.
She was. I'm a huge Tina Turner fan. I've seen her twice. I was actually at the concert at Wembley, which was her last concert, or allegedly was going to be her last concert in England. And It was an amazing show. 2 hours on stage for her, and she was in her late 60s, I think, late 60s then. I don't know, I felt exhausted watching her.
Oh, absolutely. If I could do that at her age, that would be amazing.
I'd like to live to her.
She's incredible. She's a great inspiration, and such great music.
So who would you say was your musical hero or musical inspiration? Would it be Tina?
Oh, lots of them. And I think putting the show together really does, for me, it's a bit more of a personal journey too, because a lot of it is, and I realised once I, really started to rehearse the show, how much all of them have influenced my writing, my performing, the different sounds that you try to recreate. They're just all inspirational. But I think, I grew up with the music of the 80s.
Yeah, I must. Yeah. Same era as me. I'm an 80s boy, and I love anything beyond sort of 1990. I get a bit woolly. If somebody says to me about a song in 1990 or a band in 1990, I struggle. Anything from like the sort of 89, 90 back to 1959, I know who they are and what they've done and all that sort of thing. I'm a bit of an anorak like that, but never mind.
Yeah, and that really, that's what the show does cover. We do a little bit in the 90s and a little bit in the 2000s, but quite honestly, there wasn't a lot of rock-sounding females after the early 90s. Really, it just kind of, turned into a totally different sound.
And it's interesting, looking at the list of people, would you say you're paying tribute to them, would you say?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay. You're not impersonating them. It's not
not at
you're
all.
paying tribute.
Just paying tribute in the show, getting people to sing along, get up and dance, just come and enjoy the music and enjoy the journey of the music.
I mean, I'm looking at some of them, and there's quite a majority of them are English. You've got Helen Shapiro, which I said earlier and got away with, and Annie Lennox, and I see there's obviously the New Seekers and Dusty Springfield, all British.
Absolutely, and they have such a big impact on the music worldwide, especially in Australia. We really do love, the English music. So
that's definitely good. Okay, let's get a bit off the wall now. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen the TV show Room 101, and it's about the thing you can put into Room 101, the thing that really, should we say, annoys you, whatever. You can put something into the Room 101, the thing that really grates on you. What would you put in there?
That's a really tough question.
I know.
Putting me on the spot.
I did save it to
about this show. But, I don't know really. Yeah. I don't have there's not too many things
that really tick you off. That.
Yeah.
Apart from radio presenters asking stupid questions.
No. I just think maybe really negative people.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think there's so many of those people around. I meet them and they make you want to open your wrists, let alone them. You just want
to say, look, be happy.
Yeah, I know. Life's too short. Let's all have a good time. Let's all be happy.
Absolutely.
So I say the show. We go back to the show. It's called Ladies Rock. I'll quickly go through. There's one date you're doing locally. It's on Wednesday. It's this Wednesday actually, Wednesday the 8th of July, and it's at the Swan Theatre in High Wycombe, which is a lovely big theatre. So he's going to make a great noise in there.
Great! I can't wait. Looking forward to that. And I know Telford's a fair way up the road, but we have Telford on Thursday, and then Weymouth on Saturday.
So if somebody's going on holiday on Saturday, and they're going to Weymouth on Saturday for their holidays, they can see you there.
Absolutely. Come on down. Come and join us on holidays at Weymouth.
That would be great, isn't it?
That's the last show for this tour while I'm over here. So
and then are you then going back to Australia?
Yes, then I have to go back to Australia. I have a busy schedule over there when I get back. Lots going on. And then we also launch the show in Australia.
Yeah. Has it been to Europe? Has it been to Britain first before it's been to Australia?
Yeah.
So we're getting
it, isn't it? It's just how it worked out. So it just timing wise, it all fell in place here, and then and we start in September.
Well, unusual for England to get something first, which is really good. I'm sure it's going to be a great success. Thank you very much for today, Nicki. I know you're a very, very busy touring this show because it's quite a tight schedule, as you said. Thank you very much for your time. I'm going to play another song from yourself. It's called, well, we mentioned it a little while ago, it's Tina Turner and River Deep, Mountain High.
Yeah, just love this song.
I do as well.
Yes.
I love it. It's a great song. I love the bit where it sort of goes quiet and then builds back up again into a big crescendo.
Yeah.
All right.
Really well written song.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Nicki. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for having me.